Yo, YouTube, what's up? Top of the morning to you. What's hot? Top of the morning to you, and for my more grounded folks, grand rising. How y'all doing today? Um, I wanted to jump on a little early today because a couple things I want to address. One thing I was thinking about that I was talking about last night on my previous um, one of these episodes, whatever you want to call them. I was upset because my code wasn't working right, and I talked about asking people for help and getting upset because I felt that they weren't really giving me the help I needed. Um, Now that was a little up front of me. So sometimes I go through these feelings and I might just vent them without vetting them in my head at first, because the person I was talking about in that video actually has helped me tremendously throughout my PhD project and my dissertation and everything. Again, I try not to ask too many questions because I don't want to weigh them down and feel like I haven't done my own research. First of all, right? Sometimes it is easier just to ask somebody than it is to Google and read and all that kind of stuff. But we do get more understanding from Googling and reading than we do just asking somebody sometimes as well. Sometimes it's good to keep put on the right track though. But I say that to say that this person has helped me tremendously. And I know last night I was kind of getting upset because I wanted to help right there at that very moment, right? And when someone's helping us, we can't really, you know, get mad at when or how they're able to help us in the moment, right? So we can't get upset that they're not there for us at that very moment when they've been there for us before, right? So I wanted to address that, just to say that, you know, I might have came off wrong. If that person listening, I'm sorry. I might have came off wrong saying that I feel like I'm not getting the help. I am getting the help that I need. Sometimes it's my own lack of understanding that makes me feel like I'm not getting the help that I need, but that just means that I need more understanding in myself, and I need to ask more concise questions to get the answers that I'm looking for, and make sure that the person I'm asking understands what I'm asking and not just saying things that because they'll say something, right, and I won't quite get it, and I'll think, dang, maybe I didn't know what I was talking about, and I'll go back and look, and I'll realize that I didn't ask the question properly. So we got to ask the right questions, right, to get the right answers from the people who we're asking for help for. So I wanted to address on that, and then I also wanted to address a little bit on mental health. I know y'all keep seeing me look down. Y'all probably think I'm reading something. There's nothing here. Like, I guess I'm still getting used to talking to myself in front of the camera so that you guys can understand and hear me and stuff. But yeah. So I wanted to address mental health in our community. So I come from, you know, a poor background, as I've explained before. I consider myself part of the black community. Some black people might disagree with that. Others would be like, hell yeah, for sure. So I'm talking about from that viewpoint of our community. So mental health in our community, it's looked down upon, especially when it comes to, why is it so taboo is what I'm trying to get at. Like, why is mental health in our community so taboo when it's so needed, especially in our community with so much stuff that we're having to deal with daily, with systemic racism, with poverty, with just putting food on the table, making sure that there's a roof over our heads, with lack of jobs, lack of opportunities, lack of funding, with being ex-criminals, with not being able to get jobs, with being turned away, being judged upon our looks. We look at each other, if we go to mental health services, like we're weaker than others, right? And it's weird. Like, I don't get that. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't like that. I mean, I get it, right? Like, I'm out here struggling, I'm getting by. Like, why you can't do it? And that's the thing that we get taught as kids, like, right? We're always taught, like, suck it up. Like, it'll be fine. Like, are you hurt? Are you physically bleeding? Well, then you're not hurt. Then suck it up and get back out there and do what you need to do. And then our parents, they didn't have time to mentally prepare us for the world or mentally prepare us for ourselves or anything. Like, they were struggling, they were in their own stuff. A lot of us got yelled at, got beat when we were younger, you know what I'm saying, for acting up. Like, I literally realized that like raising kids was like training a dog, right? If the kid doesn't act right, you beat it until it learns not to do that, and then it'll act right. That's kind of like just like raising a dog, right? So a lot of us weren't raised; we were trained, right? So that's crazy. And because we weren't actually raised, we don't have mental awareness and emotional awareness of our emotions, and so it's hard for us to deal with them, and we run through rampant issues of depression, and even though we laugh at and we don't understand how people can kill themselves, there's a high suicide rate, people in poor neighborhoods as well. You feel me? And all this goes into us not being mentally stable. Well, not mentally stable, because that gives a negative connotation. You think, oh, there's something wrong, like you're not mentally stable. But I guess what I'm trying to say is you're not like mentally stable, like not like ill or anything, but like we're just not um, we're just not what's the word? I don't know the word. There's just people walking by, but it's mature mentally. Anyway, we don't like mental health. Our mental health isn't at the capacity where it should be to foster good growth and to be decent human people and stuff. And so there's also the thing about, it's expensive. Like you see people in therapy, right? And it's expensive to go to therapy, and it is. Um, if you get the opportunity to go and it's not expensive, I encourage you to take it. But therapy can be expensive. It can be like over $100 for 1 hour of talk, all right? And then it's basically just talking to someone. And then people wonder. And I've been through a couple therapies. I told you right now I'm in therapy. I got a reduction because of school and my insurance. I got through school, so I got a reduction in the cost. So thankfully I got that opportunity, and so I'm taking full advantage of that. But it can be upwards of $100 per session, which is like an hour or even 30 minutes, right? And that's a lot of money to talk to someone. And so a lot of us feel like, well, we'll just talk to ourselves, or talk to ourselves, like amongst the community. We'll talk amongst each other about this stuff. But you're not gonna get any mental clarity talking to someone who's just as messed up as you are. All right? If you talk to your friend who is in the same predicament you are about how you're feeling and how to deal with it, and they're not dealing with it well, how do you think they're going to give you tools for you to deal with it, right? As someone who used to be married, I was always taught that you don't bring your relationship problems to your single friends, because they have no idea how to keep a relationship, hence they're single. So why would you bring your relationship problems to them, right? Same way as if you want to become mentally stable, if you want to get some mental health, why would you bring your mental health issues to people who are mentally unstable, just as mentally unstable as you are, right? It doesn't, it just doesn't add up. It's not there. You cannot get from something that isn't there. You get me? Like if you go to a well to get water, if it's an empty well, you're not going to get any water. You got to go to where someone has something that you don't have to get it from them. And hence, like going to a therapist who has the training, who has the understanding of what to do. And if you can't afford a therapist, what I've been doing lately on top of therapy is I've been buying a lot of books on emotional maturity, because I lack emotional maturity. Relaying my emotions, talking about them with other people, not allowing my emotions to run rampant, but actually sitting with them and helping to understand them so that I can control my reactions to my emotions, right? So I'm learning all this stuff through a lot of books. My therapist is helping, but I think these books are helping as much, if not more, than my therapist, right? So it's a combination of the two things. So I encourage you, if you can't afford a therapist, at least reach out and get some books. If not books, then there's YouTube pages. I'm sure there's definitely Instagram psychologists that I follow, and there's podcasts. So I'm gonna leave a link in the description of a young lady who does a podcast about healing yourself, about how you have the faculties to heal yourself So where you don't actually have to go to a therapist to do it, or you don't have to pay money to sit in a room with someone and talk about your feelings, but you can actually talk to yourself about your feelings, and she actually guides you in ways to do that. Not only does she guide you in ways to do that, but she guides you in ways by telling her story on how she became mentally and emotionally mature, and healed herself through the learnings and teachings from different people that she is giving credit to as she talks through her podcast. So I'm gonna leave the description a link in the description below. So I encourage you to please check it out. If you can't get checked out, at least check out what she has to say. I really hope that it helps you. I really hope that that if you're going through something that it does help. It's gonna be okay, but we need to get rid of this stigma of mental health being a bad thing in our community. We need to encourage people to go and seek the help that they need, because when we need help, and you shouldn't be laughed at for asking for help. All right, so please check out the link in the description. And best thing about it, if you're worried, no one will know. No one will know you clicked on it except you. No one will know that you learned anything out of it except you, unless it changes your life. Then they'll never know where you got it from. They'll just say, hey, that guy or that girl is really well put together. I don't know what they did, but I want to find out how they got so mentally mature. So that's what I want to talk about. Thank you for listening. Stay safe out there, y'all. Take care. Love, happiness, peace, and prosperity. Bye.